2023 is a big year for Range Rover. They're redesigning two of their flagship models, the big Range Rover and this, which is the Range Rover Sport. And what I have for you today is the Range Rover Sport SE Dynamic, one of the 4 different trims that are available for this year. And today, thanks to Range Rover of Sarasota, Florida, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out from the exterior, interior, play with the technology, take it for a test drive, the whole 9 yards. But before we do that, if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt. Here on Matt the Carguy, I post 2 car reviews every single week. If that's something that interests you, check out the rest of my channel, consider subscribing, and now let's get back to this. Range Rover Sport has been around since 2005, and this is the 3rd generation of it. First introduced in May of 2022, it started coming in this year as a 2023 model year. There's 4 different trim levels that are available. The SE Dynamic, which is what I have for you today. There's also Autobiography and the first edition, each of them having a different engine option. Now, as far as the design, if you look at it from a distance, you might not seem that it's changed a lot, but there's some changes on the vehicle which we're going to go through. But let's take a look at the design. Overall, I do love the design. It's sporty, it's elegant, it's classic, very, very true to the typical SUV, a luxury SUV, I should say. I do like the hood. I do like that it has those 2 trim pieces on each side, kind of accentuate that elegance of the vehicle. You do have brand new lights, fully LED lights, of course, with the daytime running lights at the bottom. Range Rover, so typical to the brand. They've been spelling out the Range Rover name on their hood for years. And you do have the Land Rover, which is the mother company of it, right on the side. Now you do have this grille on the top that's covered in the smoked chrome, which looks really, really nice. Piano black down here with the front view camera, and then right at the bottom of the bumper you have this bronze accents which look pretty cool. Continues throughout the whole vehicle. You have one over here, one on top of the hood. By the way, this is open. That allows for the air to channel through it for better aerodynamics. And let's check out one of the 4 engine options available on the 2000. And before we take a look at the engine itself, let's take a look at the hood. First of all, you can see that it does have 2 latches up on top, sound insulation. You do have hood struts holding it nice and tall. And inside of the engine bay, you see that there's some bracing over here for better sport dynamics. Now, as far as the engine choices, the base SE comes with the inline-6 mild hybrid, producing about 355 horsepower. This one has got 395 horsepower. It's also an inline-6 with the mild hybrid engine. 406 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This vehicle can go 0 to 60 in about 5.4 seconds. But if that wasn't enough, you can also go for the Autobiography, which is a plug-in hybrid, about 434 horsepower. Or you can go for the first edition, which is a BMW derived V8. I think it's 525 horsepower, and that vehicle can go about 4.3 seconds, 0 to 60. So really, really quick. We're going to take this one for a spin at the end of this video. I like that Range Rover didn't completely redesign this vehicle, and they kept to the tradition of the Range Rover Sport, which looks sporty and elegant, and this generation looks very similar to the outgoing one. I do like this flat hood. I do like the A-pillar raises up a little bit higher than the back, and it slopes down towards the back for that more sporty feel of this vehicle. I also like how they blacked everything out in here. It looks like one whole piece. If you look at the wheel and tire setup on this particular one, this is not what you get as a standard equipment. Standard, you get 21-inch wheels and tires. These are 22s, and I like the shape of it. I like the styling, and I do like that they're dressed in this satin black color. Now, what do you have as far as the tires? You have the Pirelli Scorpion 0 to 85 by 45, of course, on the 22-inch rim. Here's the accent that you've seen in different shapes in some of the other Range Rovers as well. They usually put something on the side over here, and this trim is very similar to what you find right on top. You also have the blacked out mirrors, the camera on the side, which tells you that it does have the 360. What's new is the flush mounted door handle, so you can open them up by pressing the button on. As long as you have a key somewhere on you, it's going to do that, and the mirrors will unfold. So the biggest difference in the design of it, in my opinion, is in the back. So let's check this out on these vehicles. And I think these are the lights, right? There used to be a lot taller and a lot shorter. Now they kind of nicely wrap around, going on the quarter panel here and on the gate inside. They're connected by this black trim with Range Rover spelled out. Now right on top of here, you see not one, but two shark fin antennas. One of them is a housing for the camera that projects the image in the rear view mirror. And I do like that they hid the wiper underneath here. You do have a third brake light, which is all LED as well. Sport on one side, Land Rover logo on the other side. You do have the reflector lights. And if you look at the bottom, they call it Sport for a reason. You have a diffuser and you have this pretty mean looking exhaust. Of course, there is a rear view camera right down at the bottom. And let's open this gate up and see if we have any room in there. Cargo room is pretty generous for a midsize SUV, and you can see this one is nicely lined with this rubber floor mats, and nothing too crazy about it. You do have the cargo cover, you do have some LED illumination on both sides, 12-volt power outlet. What's cool about it, you do have the ability to fold down the seats automatically. They're both up and down feature. You also have the ability to raise or lower the vehicle if it's too high for you to get the cargo inside of here. Also, check this out, all right? If you want to just put something in the very back and don't want it to roll over the entire vehicle, you have this built-in cargo holder, which is pretty cool. And if you want to fold this down, or actually right underneath here too, what's important, you do have a spare tire. Check this out, right over there with nice red rim. So I guess they don't want you to ride on it all the time. As always, let's start with the rear door panel, and there's a lot of stuff going on in here. First of all, I like the different materials that it's using, so let's take a peek of what they are. So you have the vinyl, regular vinyl right on top. Now you have the Meridian 3D sound, and this is a speaker cover slash trim, I believe. This is kind of an interesting fabric. Now you do have the Meridian sound as a base equipment. Now this one has the Meridian 3D sound, which was an upgrade on this vehicle. You do have what it looks like a wood trim in the background over here, and that's where you control your seat adjustments as far as the recliner. And then you have this smoked chrome trim around here, which is really, really nice. Door handle in the same color, so it looks very fitting in this whole material parade over here. You do have the lock and unlock, a little bit of storage right underneath. So that's your door. Now let's take a look at the seat backs. You do have the seat back pockets in both driver and passenger seats, and the seats are covered in the Windsor leather. Really nice, really comfortable. It smells amazing. I don't know if you noticed, each different manufacturers has a different smell of their vehicle, and you do have this folding armrest with extra storage and cup holders if you need them. You can always tuck it away. Now, not a big bump at the bottom, and here if you look at the console, of course you have a set of vents, and you do have the heated seat settings, as well as you can choose of which vents the air is coming out of, which is a really nice feature. Before we get inside, I want to demonstrate how these door handles work. So you press the unlock on your remote and they basically pop out, and inside of them you can see that there's a keyhole just in case the battery died or you weren't able to get the automatic car to open it up for you. They also have a button right here that's to lock and unlock it without pressing any buttons on the key. Now the front door panel is the same as the back, with the addition of the memory seat settings. So you have 3 of those memory seat settings, as well as the seat adjustments. You also have your mirror, window, and lock control right over here, and you can fold down the mirrors as well. A little bit more storage down at the bottom. You have a speaker, and then the same kind of material as used in the back. Of course, you do have the Meridian 3D surround marked right on the Twitter. And let's close this door. Let's hear how it sounds. Boom. Nice, solid, nothing to complain about. Of course, you do have the tilt and telescoping steering wheel. I'm going to go in detail of what's on the steering wheel, but I want you to take a look at the seats. Now, the seats in Range Rovers, if you haven't sat in one, I urge you to go to a dealership and sit in one of those. It's super comfortable. Look, it's like having a chair from your living room inside of your vehicle. Really nice, dressed in this Windsor ebony leather. It looks really, really good. Let's take a look at the rest of this interior. And there's a lot to look at on the interior of this 2023 Range Rover Sport. I gotta tell you, I do like it. However, if I were to complain about something, is the amount of this piano shiny black all over the place. You can see it, you know, right underneath the screen over here, right in this console. You can see it on the steering wheel, basically all over. Let's start this vehicle up. Let's see what's going on here. Can barely hear the engine start. There's your Land Rover logo appearing on this 13.1-inch screen. It says good afternoon. It said good morning when I got in, so it means that we already are afternoon. And let's check this out. So you do have this nice, very comfortable steering wheel. You do have a lot of buttons that come to life as you start this vehicle, so you can see that there is a phone button, you know, back and forth voice control. And we're going to check it out of what it does. Range Rover logo. You do have the dynamic cruise control. You also have the heated steering wheel over here and some other settings that I'm not sure what they are. You do have a nice pedal shifters in the back to help you switch the gears if you wanted to go in the manual mode. And the ignition is on, but the doors were open, so let's close it. Get this annoying noise out of here. Basically, like I said, the steering wheel is tilt and telescoping. I do like that screen. I do like this digital instrument cluster, although I see nothing here. So let's see, we can change the display layout, and we can use the dial display, which should give me like this more traditional display. This one looks really, really good. It does have this bronze accents, as you can see on the trim on the outside of this vehicle. So on the left-hand side, you do have the speedometer. On the right-hand side, you have a tachometer. And in the middle, you do have your map and navigation. And there's a lot of customization because you can hit that. You can do the info panel and see right now we have a navigation, but you can also have media. You can have trip summary, 4x4 info, driver assistance, empty panel. But I think I like that navigation the best, so we're going to leave that. And then there's other customization, display layout. We've already seen that. HUD settings, so that head-up display, it's going to be really hard for you to see it probably, but there is one. It says 0 miles per hour and 30 is a speed limit in the parking lot, I guess. And then you go down to the vehicle settings, and you can make some adjustments accordingly as far as the tire pressure. Auto apply 4x4 info, show warnings, you know, all that stuff. You can turn it on or off. So basically a lot of customization that can be done on this vehicle. What I also like is this material. It kind of looks like this neoprene material. I've seen it like on the Defenders, the new Defenders that are made out of it. And then of course this is the new 13.1-inch PV Pro infotainment system. Looks really, really good. Hoping that it's not going to give me this flickering effect with this camera, but you know, in case it does, trust me, it does not flicker in real life. But let's see. First of all, this is nice, visible, very bright. It's also very elegant with this kind of sepia coloring on it, like this brown coloring on it. And we have different options. So Sarasota right now, we're in Sarasota at the Range Rover dealerships, and here's your map. You can search, or you can just take a look at this beautiful map and see I'm right back in this parking lot. You can also have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. You can add the device and connect it. As far as the sound system, I gotta tell you, this system sounds amazing. I was actually listening to it while driving this vehicle around, and I was wowed with it, with how deep this sound goes. And this is all thanks to this Meridian 3D sound system that this vehicle has. And then the last panel over here, so we have the auto brake hold, auto stop start, dynamic stability control. It's on right now. You can turn that on or off. As far as the ride height, you can set it up as far as the off-road, normal, or access, or automatic if you'd like to. And you know, that's pretty much what you have. Now there's more options down below, and here you are. Now this is so easy to read. You know, navigation, accounts, seats. Let's see what we have special about the seats. Front seats right over here. Adjust headrest, bolsters, lumbar cushions. More. No, I don't think this one has the massage feature. We can fold down all of the seats or unfold all of them. Let's go back in here. You have the valet mode. Oh, cameras. Let's take a look at those. Because there's a few of them. I do like it. I do like how the cameras look. And look, each camera, if you press on it, it shows you that angle of the vehicle, right? From the outside, or if you want to see the view from the vehicle itself. Now this is the wide view, narrow view, and you can do the same for the back, the wide view and the narrow view. So a lot of customization as far as that camera. You can also wash it if you'd like to, and we can do the 3D spin. There you go. Check out this vehicle. You also have the off-road camera, which basically gives you the front view as well as the side views. So in case you are maneuvering with your $100,000 vehicle on the trail, you can actually avoid some of the rocks or boulders. You can lock your differential if you'd like to. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this is the underneath camera. Drive forward to view underneath hood. Okay, well, we're not going to do that right now, but let's go back to the settings. That's intelligent 4x4, do not exceed vehicle limits or capabilities. I'm going to hit OK, and that's going to tell you, show you the pitch and roll. It's also going to show you that the front wheels are turning right now, and see which gear you're in. Weight sensing. So the maximum, the water forging, I guess, is 2.6 feet. Minimum sensor trigger at 4 inches. So there's a lot of stuff going on in here. Comfort, provide a balanced driving experience optimized for on-road driving. So that's basically what it shows us here. Grass, gravel, snow. So those are different drive modes. Mud, ruts, sand, wade, auto, and that's pretty much it. And how do you change the drive modes? You do it through here. So let's see, we can flip through them and let's see what's going on, because that's pretty cool. So in the instrument cluster, you have a little nice icon of the vehicle, and we're going to go through it. Mud ruts, sand, wade, go back, comfort, then we have the gravel, grass, snow, comfort, and eco mode, as well as the dynamic. That's for the on-the-road use. And then as soon as you switch it, it shows you a description of it, so in case you weren't sure, you can actually read up on it. Low traction launch, so you know, in the event of snowing. Let's go back here. Vehicle dimensions. All right, so this is pretty cool. That tells you of how long this vehicle is. That's in meters. Well, we can change that. In feet. Can we change it to inches? No, just feet and meters. 16 feet 3 inches. It is about 6 feet tall, 7 feet 3 inches, including the mirrors as far as the width. In case you were curious, that vehicle tells you everything. Cabin lighting. Let's see if it does have any of accent lights. Oh, I think let's turn them all on, and I still can't see them. So I guess we need to be in the dark. Quick auto brightness, home screen, audio, and change the different settings for your audio system. Here's the Meridian system. Stereo Meridian or 3D Meridian settings. That's what we have. Now, you know, as far as the media, cabin lighting, you can set up your own Alexa set up the vent where the air is coming out of, move them up or down. This is pretty cool. A lot of electronics in this vehicle. We can check the weather. And here in Florida, it feels really hot. And let's see, unable to connect. But it does say on the instrument cluster that we do have 90 degrees outside. Mind that we're still in February. Now down below here, this is where a lot of fingerprints are going to be left. But you do have the controls for your climate control. So this is your temperature settings. But I guess what? If you push this, it turns on. You can actually have this heated. Can we have the ventilated seats? Pull? No. Pull manual, auto, push, Fahrenheit. All right, so that controls the fan. We push it, that controls the temperature. We push it again, that controls the seats. And they're only heated, unfortunately. Same thing with the other side. And then you also have the heated seats over here, so you can adjust it. No, I do not want heated seats with 90 degrees outside. Different shortcuts for the climate control. Here's your gear shifter. It is different than what I remember it was on the other one. But basically all you have to do is push the button, move it to drive. You have drive and sport if you'd like to. If you do it one more time, that allows you to go in the fully sport mode. Push park to park, and then here's how you turn on your stereo. We already changed the different drive modes, but that's how you do it. You also have the hill descent assist, and that's where you start the vehicle. What else do we have? Cup holders. You can close this if you'd like to. And you have a console that opens up, and you have more storage down underneath here. Now, where is the, oh, right here. This is where you put your phone to wirelessly charge it. And right on the side over here, this is another cool feature. You do have two glove boxes. So you have one that's right on top, and then you push this button bottom up, and then you have the bottom glove box. So a lot of storage, a lot of little nooks and crannies that you can play around with. See that camera right on top? You can turn this mirror into a monitor and see what's going on behind you when you're driving. One of my favorite features on the vehicle. And then you have this panoramic sunroof. Let's see if we can open up first the cover, which is really, 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 really big. But then we can also let some air inside by opening up and sliding this sunroof open. You do have a nice windshield over here, and the illuminated mirrors. Also have this pretty cool handles. I believe this is a speaker, part of that 3D sound system. That is pretty awesome. I'm really impressed with the way that this vehicle looks, but I can't wait to take it for a spin. Well, I got this vehicle running and I'm ready to take it for a spin. Well, before we do that, let's take a look. I told you there's 4 different levels of Range Rover Sport for this year, and so there's a Range Rover Sport, that's the basic one, SE. And if you look at the specs at the glance, this vehicle is called the P360. It's got 355 horsepower and about 140 top speed as far as miles per hour. It takes 5.7 seconds to get 0 to 60. The dynamic one, it's 395 horsepower, 150 top speed, 5.4 seconds 0 to 60. Autobiography, which is the plug-in hybrid. If you look at this, 434 is the horsepower, 140 is the top speed, so a little bit lower than this one. It takes 5.5 seconds to go 0 to 60. And the top of the line, or the highest trim level, first edition, I think it's going to be limited for this year, maybe they're going to turn it into an SVR or something. But this one is the P530. It's got 523 horsepower, 155 is the top speed, 4.3 seconds as far as the 0 to 60. So as far as the pricing, well, it's Range Rover. Nobody talks about the pricing. You just ask if it's available and then you buy it. But in reality, it starts at about $90,000 and it goes up to about $125,000. And there's so many features that you can add that, you know, you can easily work your way up there. Especially with the current market, well, you might plan to paying a little bit more than that. But anyways, well, there's a few of them available here at the Range Rover in Sarasota, and honestly, I don't know what they're asking for it. I don't sell them. You can give them a call. I'm going to post a link and the phone number in the description of this video, and you can talk directly with the dealership as far as the pricing. Now, let's take it on the road, but before we do that, of course, let's make some circles in here, and let's see how well or how badly this vehicle turns. So I'm gonna stop right over here and turn this wheel all the way to the right, and let's take a look. Hey, this is not bad at all. For a vehicle that's 195 inches long almost, it takes about 4 spots to turn this vehicle all the way around. Now we're in the automatic mode, and I'm gonna see how it reacts to any of the changes here. I'm going to twist and turn here and see if this vehicle is stable. And I got to tell you, it does have this adaptive suspension on it, and that keeps it nice as far as the cornering. It tries to level it off, so it's really, really good. Let's see braking. Oh, I like the sound of it. Ooh. Okay, dips just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And I said I love the sound of it. We're going to do a little bit of an acceleration here, and hopefully, traffic permitting, I'm going to be able to actually do that on the road, because this is a quick vehicle. All right, we're stopping. Well, let's see. I want to make sure I'm in the sport mode, or dynamic mode as they call it, which I am right now. Let's go. Well, it took it a little while to decide whether it wants to go or not, but I hope that that was just because me playing around with this different dynamic modes. So let's check this out. Let's take it on the road, and we're going to find out really quick. Very nice feel and a nice sound of this engine coming into this cabin. Even though this is an inline 6, it does have this aggressive growl coming from the outside. I believe this might be that 3D Meridian speaker enhanced, which is even better as far as the sound of it. Very easy to drive a vehicle. The steering wheel is just the right tightness. You do have a nice visibility. If you don't see what's going on in the back, just turn on that rear view monitor, and you're not going to have any issues with that whatsoever. So let's take a quick peek and let's see how this vehicle accelerates. We're going to do that in just a moment here. All right, ready? 0. Let's go. Got it over 60 miles per hour, which wasn't bad. I'm kind of not used to it, hesitating a little bit. I don't know whether it does have the launch control or it doesn't, or I need to do something special to this vehicle. But once you press the accelerator, you kind of have to wait a second before it goes like, oh, I'm going, okay, let's go. But once it does that, it definitely makes a big difference. Next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in this sport mode, and I'm going to see if I can control my own gears with the pedal shifters and see if that does make any difference here, and I believe it will. Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. So maybe there's something in the settings that I didn't check, but definitely this vehicle is capable. It's fun to drive too. Like I said, it's easy to drive. It does have a good acceleration, great visibility, easy turning, nice and tight cornering. Now, I was really, always try to find out something that I don't like about this vehicle. Well, if I really was trying to pick on something, it would be just that piano black trim. But that's if that's all that's wrong with it, then it's a win. Again, for Range Rover, which has been one of the best-selling luxury mid-size SUV as far as this sport model for many, many years. And I can't wait to get my hands on the large one. Now, just to let you know, the large one is also made on the same platform. So it is going to be bigger, and it's also a 7-seater, and it does have a lot more luxury amenities in some of those models. But at the same time, if you don't need the 7-passenger, just go for this one. This is more fun, in my opinion. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you learned something, maybe one thing, out of this video. And if you did, and if you like it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, leave me a like and hit that little bell notification button so you make sure you don't miss any of those videos that are coming out. And I'll see you in my next video. Cheers!